Hi, everybody. This is Jason.
And this is Pete.
And this is the Lost Legions podcast. And what are we doing today, Pete?
We're here to talk about our top 5 favorite tanks. Five. Echo. Yeah. Anyway, top 5 favorite tanks. Legion tanks specifically, not super heavies.
Yeah.
Anything else in between? All right.
Yep.
Top 5 tanks.
So I think this is an interesting topic because, again, just spoilers. We've also thrown some transports in here too. So
well, they're tanks.
This is just any tanky kind of thing. Yeah.
Do you have tracks? Yes. Are you super large? No. You fit in. Are you commanded by Space Marines? Yes. Good. You're in. Right. Let's fire away. So what do you think? Well, Jason's 5th favorite tank is...
Okay. So this one is maybe a bit controversial because of how expensive it is, because it'll be like 200 points. So the Sakaran Arcus, particularly the one with the Arcus missile launcher. But the reason why I think it's good is it has 2 different missiles. That's 4 different missiles.
I think it's 4 fire options. Yeah.
Yeah. And one of them is Skyfire, one of them is normal, but 2 of them have statuses on them. Yeah. And so it's just this completely Swiss Army knife that goes up to 36 inches that can just start pegging statuses on people.
Yeah.
Like, again, the downside is it's expensive. So I said this is my dark horse choice. I would say, spoilers, that my other one that kind of ties for this was maybe a Rhino. And I have a feeling we'll get into this later. But I think this current Arcus is one to watch. I think it might make a appearance on more tables because of the way the missile launcher works. I think some of the other Sakarans are fine, but I wouldn't rate them as high as I rate the Sakaran Arcus. I think they're viable. I think all the Sakarans are viable. I think the problem is they're expensive.
Yeah. No, I think I agree. I think the Arcus is a good shout. It's points heavy, but you pay for it for the utility, right? That's ultimately what you're paying for. So yeah, good shout. All right, my number 5, the humble little Rhino.
So this is why I said I think it'd be viable, because I don't
bring him in.
I don't disagree with Pete. I actually think the Rhino is really good and up there and worthy of top 5. I think the Arcus has so much potential that, and because it can put 2 different statuses on things, I think it's interesting. But like, Pete, take it away. This was your section and I'm talking.
No, it's good. And so Rhino, I think you can't be without one. You get 4 available to you straight away in your army list. Moving dudes around is super important. They're surprisingly hardy now. The armor value's gotten better. They're more hull points. The pintle weapon options on them are pretty good. You can put hunter killers on them.
They can sometimes chase 500-point Death Stars around the table with a heavy flamer.
Yeah. They, it is man of the match. It can block line of sight. You can react back into it.
You also cannot care about it as soon as it drops off its precious cargo. And at that point, it's just full send. You're at I'm going to drop the kids off at the pool and I'm going to go flame some people.
Yeah, it is literally that. So he's a good laugh. That's it. There's nothing else to add about him. He had to get on the list. He couldn't be off the list.
I agree with you. I think it's a good shot.
Moving on. Jason's number 4 is
the Vindicator. So I think this thing is really good. I like both options. I think Pete might have some arguments as for which one he prefers over the other, but we'll wait for that. But I will say that I think that just in general, this is a lot better than it used to be. I think that the Demolisher Cannon is really good. I think that if you don't move, it becomes a super scary defensive weapon if they become within 24, because it's 6 damage then, right?
Yeah.
So it's and then they have to deal with it. I think the Laser Destroyer, which I'm gonna hazard a guess that I like more than you, is still really good. It's one of the good anti-tank options. Again, sort of like because it just does more damage than a normal laser, and that is las cannon. But so I think that overall, like, both options are viable, both options are good, and it's really good at anti-tank. And we lost the large blast. I guess this happened last edition, but I didn't use a Vindicator, so I didn't know.
It's been gone since first edition, Jay.
So like I had no idea that was the case because nobody used them last edition. I mean, vaguely in the back of my mind, I remember this, but like I think now it's really good at anti-tank and definitely taking out elite things. And its strength is so high that it's just a really good like option now. Far better than it was in 2.0 and in 1.0 too, I think.
Yeah, range strength means more than ever because you need to be penning because you can't just single shot stuff anymore, right? You can't just roll a lucky 6 and then kaboom something. So you want to reliably chip away at stuff.
Well, I think with the reduction of how effective las cannons specifically are, it makes other options far more viable. Yeah. And I think this is where you get stuff like this sort of like rising up from the ashes and becoming a really cool, viable choice.
Yeah, I agree. So moving on. Another transport for Pete. This time it's the Land Raider. I did just speak about myself in the third person, didn't I, Jay? That's pretty shitty. But anyway, yeah.
Jason agrees.
The Land Raider has gotten significantly better, as we found out. So the way sponsons work now, sponsons are always defensive weapons. So your las cannons can return fire. They can also split fire because they're allowed to shoot at 2 different units. Because they're defensive weapons, I think they don't snapshot. I think that's the way that works. So you fire at regular BS. And then you've got the hull mounted option of a las cannon. It comes with a twin heavy bolter. You could take a twin flamer or a twin las cannon. I mean, if you don't take the twin las cannon, and all of the weapons can fire at full BS at different targets because they're all defensive weapons at that point. So yeah, pretty cool. You can chuck a pintle weapon on them as well for the same sort of effect. They're tough, they're hardy, right? Their armor value 14, which is key now in this edition. 8 hull points, move dudes around. So not only are they quite a good gunboat, they obviously get your dudes hidden everywhere. They've got the assault vehicle over the rhino as well, so you get to do your setup move and all sorts of other things. Yeah, I think they're pretty good, and they look cool as hell as well, right? So there is that. What do you reckon, Jay?
I'm a big fan. I think that the las cannons on this, because they can like fire at different targets, because they can return fire, are really big. I think the other thing that's happened is that the way that the rules work for the main weapon now, there's an argument. Also, they've gotten better to have just the heavy bolters because it does 6 shots or something now.
Yeah.
Right? Or the flamers for status reasons. Although, because of where the flamers are on this, I'm not as into the flamers on this vehicle. It's also kind of where you drop out the troops. So, is it worth it? Because usually they're coming out of that. So, I would say, I would honestly say, I mean, after that, you're going to drive around, you can have your flame shit. That's great. But, I would say that there's a great argument for just the heavy bolters. Or the problem is if you take the las cannons, yes, you're better at anti-tank. But at that point, you have to fire everything at the same target, which is, again, maybe not a problem.
You don't have to. You're just going to snap fire those 2 center mounted ones, yeah. Yeah.
So
they're not going to be as useful as normal, right? Is what is the problem?
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm getting at. So again, it goes with the synergy problem that I have. So, but with the heavy bolters, you can fire everything and everything, and you can fire at troops, and it's fine. It doesn't matter. So I had heavy bolter one yesterday because they were old from 1.0 before the plastic kit, the big heavy, the heavy. It was a Spartan actually I'm thinking of, but not this. But the same thing applies for that. But the big heavy resin one. Yeah. So it didn't have the option to have that. So I just ran the WYSIWYG. But I mean, it's pretty much the exact same conversation. So yeah, I really rate the Land Raider. And Armor 14 is better than you think now.
Yeah, it's a must. Kind of. Moving on. Jay's number 4.
So the Predator. And I mainly put this here and kind of just all of them in general because I think they're so flexible. Yeah. And I think they can take some really good weapon options. I think you can also make them way too expensive. So be careful. Like, if you pile everything on them and they don't have a specific mission, then I think they can actually fall off this list all the way to like, number 15. Like, but if you have specific missions for them and specific loadouts, I think that they're really, really good. And, keep them cheap because they're not super tough is the one thing you
Yeah, they're only 5 hull points,
understand.
aren't they? 13, 12, 10, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yes.
The Predator autocannon's pretty decent. I would be tempted to keep it like that. You do have a lot of other options though, which are tempting, but the conversion beamer and the plasma cannon in particular look pretty cool. Even the Volkite looks fun.
I mean, I was toying around with the idea of putting a flamestorm cannon on one and keeping it cheap and just driving it around and flaming people.
I don't think it has torrent anymore though.
It doesn't. No,
which is a
it's
shame.
just a norm.
But
it has panic 2 though,
and it's strength 6, I think, isn't it, rather than just strength 5? I mean,
you could slap heavy bolter sponsons on it and have a flamestorm cannon, and then run around and just like basically be a nuisance.
Or you could chuck heavy flamer sponsons on it and then flame 2 units.
I just don't know how you're going to...
Or you could do flamer sponsons and flamer turret and just set yourself on fire.
I think I would rather have a heavy flamer pintle than a heavy flamer sponsons because one of them is not going to be firing anything.
But yeah, it depends on it. If you just drive it front and center. Anyway, get off the one. But yeah. No, I think it's good. In fact, I think it's so good that it's my number 3.
Would you like to add to my analysis?
The Swiss Army knife of it, you can build a bear tank, is pretty good here. Because of the sponsons on it in particular, you can lean into weapon builds. So, you can go, right, I'm going to go auto cannon on top, heavy bolters on the sides, and it's just a load of Dakar. I can go Volkite on top and Volkite sides, and it's different kind of Dakar. You can go flamers on the sides, as we just mentioned, if you want something for point defense, and then have a big anti-tank gun on top or something. You've got the pintle options. It's just a cool tank. It's so iconic, isn't it, as well? It's, it's probably one of the most iconic Space Marine tanks for sure.
I think in a vacuum, if you're not looking at points, I think Sicarans might be better, but the problem is Sicarans are so expensive. Yeah. And they're not much tougher than this guy, right? So these guys can be cheap and have a big gun, and that's what makes them so good, in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed. Moving on. Jason's number 2. Oh, Jason's number 3. Sorry, number 3, the Land Raider. Nice.
Yeah, so let's go back to why mainly is Armor 14. And Armor 14 is a lot harder to deal with. And we kind of talked about it when we got to Pete's Land Raider thing, but I actually think that they're really good now. But the one thing I do want to do, and I want to spoil this now that we're here, the Spartan is not on this list, guys. And I think the problem is, and why the Land Raider is so good, is it's 220 points or something. So like
it's 180 less, I think.
Yeah, the Spartan is so expensive, and it does not have a flare shield now. And that's why I don't rate the Spartan over the Land Raider.
I kind of agree. I feel like if it had a flare shield, it'd be too good. I feel like it just needs a couple more hull points. For the extra 180 points.
Yeah, I think that's 10
it's just
hull
the 2 hull points more is not enough to warrant it. Yes, it can transport 20 dudes. Yes, it's got better weapons. But you're not really using it as a gunboat. And I think big squads aren't as attractive as they used to be. So,
well, I think when it had the shield,
this is the Land Raider review. I'll put a picture of a Spartan.
This is true. Well, this is why I think the Spartans are on the list. And I think that's the contentious thing. When it had the shield, it was unstoppable. Now you're paying less points for something that's just as killable, or just as almost. It has a couple less hull points.
Yeah,
but like it's just as tough to kill. That will get your models to where they need to go. And I think that's why the Land Raider again just wins out and becomes even better. So like, yeah, I'm a big fan. I also love the model of just the humble Land Raider. I think it is a great option. So yes, this is. I guess that's why the Spartan put in this because
I'm only messing around.
No, it's a good shout though. Anyway, we'll move on.
Moving on, number 2 for me. Oh, where have we got?
Oh.
There we go. The humble Kratos. It's so big it doesn't even fit on the screen. The humble Lunar Wolves pattern. Ooh, that looks pretty cool, actually.
It was the only art picture I could find of it. So.
The Kratos battle tank. Now, this thing, look, let's not be around the bush. The melter cannon on it is insanely good. Melter is good if you can get into melter range. The problem is getting into the range. This thing has the melter range of 24. And I think it's strength 9 off the bat, I think, with heavy range strength. So it can, I think this is right. So I think go up strength 10 with Melter if it stays still at 24-inch range. It's a beast. Yeah. So that
and it does a ton of damage in that 24.
Yeah, is it 4? Is it damage 4? And then it goes up to damage 8, I think. Yeah, if you check that out.
I think you're right. I'm looking it up.
So it's pretty damn good. But then also you can pair up, as you can see on the picture here, a load of las cannons. You have 4 las cannons on it.
Yeah, you're right. It's strength 10 or strength 9, strength 10 if it stays still, 4 damage, and then up to 24. It's also 2 shots.
It's 2 shots, right? So you're hitting with one because you know how these things work. You never hit them both. But if you do hit with both, you could single tap. You could drop a Spartan from just the shooting on this thing, and then you got the las cannons to follow up to pick off the few remaining wounds if you haven't managed to anyway.
Oh,
so
the other thing is it's stable. So it always counts as stationary.
Yeah, so it's always getting strength 10 melter. Yeah, so it is insanely good, actually, when you think about it. Like, that's going to be doing... Suppose 1 shot hits and you're in melter range, you're doing 8 damage if you can pen. And then I'd like to think the las cannons will pick up another 1 or 2 points of damage against
I think the only argument with this thing is, do you take auto cannons on the up top sponsons, or do you take... las cannons like it's pictured?
Las cannons. You just lean into it. Yeah.
I lean towards the auto cannons just for cheapness. I don't know when I became so cheap. So like I've been like everything I've been espousing has been like the cheapness of things. It's just because this tank is 300 something points, 350 points or something.
Yeah.
So, armor 14, by the way.
Yeah. So it's nothing not to like about it, right? But and the other builds aren't bad as well. Like the bigger battle cannon one is pretty good. It's got the other options, like it's the Swiss Army knife option turret. It's pretty good still. It's just the melter cannon shines. And the Volkite one, and you can do Volkite sponsons on this as well, is also pretty good. I think it does like pinning or something. It has some sort of status on its Volkite.
I think it's fun because you can theme all of the weapons to go with it, and I think it works really, really good. Yeah. Like when you do that.
Yeah. So I think it's good. In fact, we think it's so good for all the reasons we just mentioned. It's Jason's number 1.
Yes, it is. And you know what? I think if I could ever find some Lunar Wolves transfers, I would do a Sons of Horus army.
Yeah.
Like just looking at this, I absolutely love Lunar Wolves. I'm not a big fan of the Sons of Horus.
That's pretty cool. I'm enjoying this image.
But about the Kratos, I think it's gone from 0 to hero. It is now in the Armor 14 Legend Club. It's going to be really hard to deal with.
The Armor 14 Legend Club.
It is.
Jesus.
It is everything that the Spartan is not. It is the older brother that your mother told you to be more like. It is.
Tell us more about your childhood.
I don't have an older brother.
You are the older brother.
I am the older brother. I mean, I agree with Pete mostly. It is just an excellent tank. I'm actually really happy because I bought one in 2.0. They were so crap that I never even took it out of the shrink wrap. I was just so excited we had plastic tanks. I bought it reflexively. And now I as soon as this dropped, I was like, I got a Kratos. And I'm old school. I bought Kratos when they weren't cool. Like I'm a hipster.
Another thing worth mentioning is you can put some of the tanks we've mentioned, you can do it as well. But with this one in particular, you can put the Dracurian guy on the top. So you can do return fire with the turret weapon.
Oh, that's interesting. I did not. Yeah, I haven't even looked at the carry
they're
rules,
at the very front of the Legion book, I think. Legion Liber books, sorry. So I think it's like 40, 50 points, something along those lines. Then you can just return fire with your mega melter cannon of death.
That is terrifying.
It's horrifying, right? So yeah, it's probably a problem. By 2. Right, moving on to the next one.
No, there you go. Yeah, right.
Hey, my number 1, for some reason, why is I don't know, it's a Raven Guard one. I think this is left over from previous.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't get to editing that. Sorry, my bad.
So yeah, for me, the top choice is the Humble Vindicator. I've always loved it. This is more of a sweetheart moment rather than anything else. I love the Demolisher Cannon. It's now good again. Everything that Jay mentioned about the Demolisher Cannon at the beginning is right. Range strength 12, so you get to pen it more often than not, unless you're like me, where the first 3 times I fired it, I rolled a 1 to pen every time against Land Raiders. So, super unlucky. I was like so excited, like finally it's good. Oh, there's a 1 3 times in a row. It's really good. Nothing not for the points. They're perfect. 140 points, 130 points. Yeah, it's so good for what it does. That's pretty much it. Those are our top 5 tanks. Let us know why your top 5 tanks didn't make our list. Let us know how you'd reorder your list in the comments. That's pretty much it. Anything else to add, Jay?
No, I'd love to see people's top 5 tanks. And thanks for watching.